Bradley Cooper. I'm here with Coop. Bradley Cooper. I love you all.
Fernando, pinch running for Coop. Coop, what are you doing this at bat?
Since my defense can't do the job, I'm going to do it here.
Okay, he's going to do it with the bat after giving up a few runs. Hit it pretty well. There's the pitch. Hit to red shorts. That was Fernando. Plays to second. 2 on for the pitch. Oh, it's hit up the middle. Lobo up with it. Oh, it gets by him. Bill Buckner style. Bobby to third. Fernando pinch running. Is it Benny? You are still up though. 39 games to 37 in the on-season softball series. And the player of the game is Coop! Bradley Cooper for his amazing pitching performance. How do you feel? Oh, he's so happy. He's so happy. Benny, hit the like button, subscribe, tell all your friends about these videos. And you know what? We are going to see you in game 77.
See by the dawn's early light, once so proudly.
What? Coop! Coop! No, no. You are fired. You are not on Team Bobby anymore. Get off the field now. Go. Get out. Finally, he's leaving off the field, and now, Little Kirsch, on a happier note, flip the coin.
Heads.
Benny calls heads, and it is...
Heads.
Heads!
Money.
Benny, do you want the ball first?
I want the ball.
Okay, I picked to defend that end zone. Who's gonna win?
Team Bobby!
Who's gonna win?
Team Benny!
No.
One down.
Whoa, you got Bumblebee shoe.
Will always be my best friend. I love you, man. I miss you dearly.
It's a tie game right now. Bottom 9, we added it up. Soup. Walk-off home run for Team Coop! Oh my gosh, over the trees, the longest home run! Team Coop wins! Walk-off fashion! All the players are on the same team today. That was a great game. Now we're going to release some balloons for Coop. Over the field. And the player of the game, Bradley Cooper! We all love you, Coop! And this is Coop's mom to release a balloon for Coop. Oh, what are your softball? Bradley Cooper! Who's gonna win?
Team Bobby!
Who's gonna win?
Team Rally Cooper!
He's the tying run at the plate. Oh!
First base.
Oh, 3 outs, but I got 2. 12-9, Benny. Costco leading off top of the 7th for Ben.
Wasn't very funny. But I pretty quickly learned that that was a rare case of him failing in comedy, and that he's actually an incredibly funny guy. And despite not being one of the better players, he often couldn't play at all because of health issues, he quickly became one of my favorite people on the crew, and he became a favorite of the viewers, of you guys. The first time that we ever went out of state to play softball, to Boston in 2016, I only invited 2 players, Benny, of course, and the other player was Coop. When we got to the field in Boston to play softball, about 300 kids were waiting for us, and they all came sprinting right at us when they spotted us. It was actually a pretty amazing sight to see, and I'm very glad that I got to experience that moment with Coop. The vast majority of you guys watching this, you've never met Coop. Most of you have never talked to him in any way. And he didn't even say a whole lot on camera, so you didn't really get to know him very well at all from the videos. There's a lot of things you didn't see. You didn't see him go out of his way to offer rides to other players, picking them up to take them to the field. Usually the kids, like Javi, who sometimes wouldn't have been able to go otherwise. You didn't see how nice he is. You didn't see how he would never complain or make excuses for anything, and he had more right to complain than most. Coop was in a bad car accident several years ago that greatly diminished the capacity of his lungs, making it very difficult for him to breathe, especially if he's doing any activities like trying to play softball. He used to be a pretty athletic guy. There's a very old video of him on YouTube doing this dance called the worm. So that accident took a lot away from him, but he never whined about it. Seems like most people nowadays, especially young people, they whine about everything. And they act like the world is against them because, you know, they lost the game of Fortnite. And I'm no exception. I've done quite a bit of whining in my life. But I wouldn't be surprised if most of the softball crew learned about Coop's car accident from watching this video just now. Because he didn't talk about it. He didn't want sympathy. He just wanted to make the best out of life, and he tried to live his life to the fullest. So you didn't get a chance to see all of that, to really get to know him. But a lot of you love him anyway, because what you did see was how much we all loved him. I mean, he was the only player who actually got applause when his name was called out to be picked for a team. You saw that we loved him, and I guess you figured there must be a pretty good reason for it, so you loved him too. I think the best measure of anyone is probably how much their friends like them. Because I'm sure you all know someone who you technically call a friend, because, you know, you hang out with them pretty often, but you actually don't like them very much, and you wish they weren't part of your group. But it's hard to imagine anyone ever feeling that way about Coop. Last Thursday, I went to an Angels game with Coop and a bunch of the softball crew. Coop had recently got a scooter because of his declining health. He needed it to get around. And the scooter broke down on one of those long ramps at Angel Stadium. And he didn't complain about it because he had a bunch of friends with him who fixed it right away because we all love Coop. There's no easy way to say this, and I'm incredibly sorry to have to tell you this, but 2 days after that Angel game on Saturday, Coop had a heart attack and passed away. When there's someone who you would do anything for, it's incredibly painful to know that there's nothing you can do for them, that nothing can fix this. I just learned a few months ago from Coop that his favorite videos to watch on YouTube are those power washing videos, you know, where people use those pressure washers to magically clean dirty old carpets or cars or walkways or anything. Coop said that it's very satisfying and peaceful to watch things be made new again, to bring out their color again. I wish there was a powerful enough pressure washer to blast away the pain of this loss. But unfortunately, that has not been invented yet. So all that's left for us to do is follow Coop's example by living our lives to the fullest, no matter what problems we're dealing with. He never gave up, and neither should we. I love you, Coop. We all love you.
Do
as long as I do videos on this channel. But unfortunately, over the weekend, we lost a great friend in the softball crew. You guys know him as Bradley Cooper. His real name was Eric, although he was a little, he would get a little angry if you called him Eric. He wanted to be called Bradley Cooper. And Coop was he was a great guy. Bobby did a video a few days ago announcing that he had passed away this past weekend. And it's kind of funny, it's kind of ironic because Bobby had a story that he didn't really like Coop when he first met him because he kept interrupting him when he was filming. I had kind of the exact opposite experience with Coop. I actually thought he didn't like me. And for the first, I don't know, probably a month, we didn't really speak. And sometimes you just get a vibe that someone, maybe has an issue with you or doesn't really like you. And I just kind of thought, man, I don't think this dude likes me too much. And so I think after maybe about 2 months of playing softball, I finally got an Instagram and I started posting on there. And I posted this picture, this goofy picture, talking about this parking space at a Kiwanis club. And I guess in the Kiwanis club, they have this, if you're the leader of the group, they have this sign that says Grand Exalted Ruler Parking Space. And so I at the time, we kind of just, it was kind of a tongue-in-cheek thing we had in the softball group where Coop was essentially the commissioner of the softball league. So I tagged Coop in this picture and sent it to him, and he thought it was pretty funny, and we had a good laugh about it. We started talking a little bit more, and probably about 2 or 3 months later, when we really started to get to know each other a little bit better, I kind of asked him about it. I said, hey, Coop, why were you a little standoffish when we first met? You didn't really talk to me too much. And he told me that he knew I was somewhat of a health enthusiast, and he thought I was going to try to sell him vitamins or get him to eat a little bit healthier. And so we had a pretty good laugh about that too, and we basically never stopped laughing after that. He had just such an amazing sense of humor. He was one of those guys that he didn't take himself too seriously, and that's sort of something you don't see too often these times. He could dish it out though. Don't get me wrong. That man, if you got roasted by Coop, you knew it because he was one of the best. He could have probably been a comedian. He was a very funny guy. And couple of funny stories about Coop. We went to Comic-Con 2 years in a row, and the first year we went, we were sitting in a booth. I had started this channel at the time, and I was doing my first video for the channel, and I was doing a vlog. I was doing a vlog from the showroom floor at Comic-Con, and it wasn't going very well. It wasn't a very good video. I was just babbling on incoherently about just random nonsense. And so I have the camera behind the booth that Coop and I are both at, and so I'm filming people, and I'm trying to get like goofy costumes to video and talk about. And I see this guy walk by, and I say, oh look, here's a guy wearing this very elaborate Harry Potter outfit, and Coop turns to me and he says this. Comic-Con. It's actually Lord of the Rings. Oh, see, that shows you how much I know about this stuff. So that was pretty funny. And so the next year we went back to Comic-Con, only this time, by some crazy reason, Coop and I were on a panel together, which was pretty crazy. And Bobby and I thought it would be kind of a funny thing for me to bring my bullhorn to the panel we were on. That probably wasn't a good idea, but that's a story for another time. But anyway, it's the last day of the show, and the panel is later in the day, and everyone's kind of tired, and I'm sitting next to Coop waiting to go up to the panel, and we're on the show floor where all the people are walking by, and we're behind this booth. And I thought, I turned to Coop and I said, let's kind of have some fun with the people here. I'm going to take my bullhorn and I'm going to say Bradley Cooper is here. He's in the building. He's signing autographs for anyone who wants one. And so I do this, and people are turning around. I think I even might have heard some ladies screaming. People got very excited. They thought it was Bradley Cooper, the actor, but it was our Bradley Cooper. And Coop just had this expression on his face that was just priceless.
We have Bradley Cooper over here signing autographs. Bradley Cooper right here at Comic-Con 2017. Cooper over here signing autographs. Come one, come all. He's right here. He's ready to go. He's making a special appearance here at Comic-Con. Very exciting. Bradley Cooper.
Again, not taking himself too seriously, and that expression he had on his face that day, that's the freeze frame moment that I'm going to remember Coop from. He had just an unbelievable sense of humor. And it's kind of ironically sad. One of the last conversations I had with Coop, we were both talking. We both had our own YouTube channels, and we both really haven't done a whole lot over the last year. And we were both talking about how it would be fun to start making content again. And it's just, it's kind of weird and ironic and really sad that I'm doing this video after many months of not doing videos, and it's about him. But what a life. He was only 33 years of age, but he had a good time while he was here. And I just want to express my condolences to his mom, his brother, his family, his friends, and his fans. We're going to miss you, Coop. Rest easy, buddy.
Man's video, you guys already know what I'm about to tell you. Got some bad news to share with everybody. Our good friend Bradley Cooper, aka Eric, passed away this past weekend. I don't know really what to say. I'm not even sure why I'm filming this. I'm still in a state of shock. It's been a few days now. And I still can't believe he's gone. But he's gone. He is gone. I know that. I just don't want to believe it. Coop was my really good friend. He was all of our good friends. He was a funny guy. The ultimate savage. He had the biggest heart. And some of my best memories in life are with Coop. Going to Boston. Actually, before that, going to San Diego. For the first time together with Bobby, we went to Comic-Con. And, I'd always been close, but that night, one of the nights that we stayed there, Coop and I stayed up till like 5 in the morning just by ourselves talking, and that's when I really got to know who he was. And up until then, it was always, joking, and I always knew him as the funny guy, but I didn't really know him until that trip. And I got to see what a kind heart and what a big, lovable guy he is. And we hit it off right from the start, man. I mean, with the Boston trip, that was where I have my favorite moments from Coop. Because a lot of amazing things happened in Boston. Of course, we traveled to Boston and played with fans that one year, and Bobby, Coop, and I, we went to the park, and all the kids running up to us and giving us fries, donuts. I'll never forget that. I mean, I'll never forget the Boston trip. when we went to Boston, I had a 9 p.m. flight from Los Angeles, which meant that I landed in Boston at like 3 or 4 in the morning. And I don't sleep well on planes, so I pretty much was up the whole time, which meant when I landed, like at 4 in the morning, and by the time I got a cab to the hotel, Coop and I were sharing a room, by the way, it was like 5:36, and we had to be up at 8 to go take a duck tour. So I get to the room, and Eric, right away, when I get inside, it's freezing because Coop always loved to have the air conditioner on, and I did too, but I mean, it was like an icebox when I got in there, so I go to sleep, and in my mind, like 10 seconds later, which was probably like an hour and a half or 2, Coop wakes me up, and he's like, Penny, we gotta get going, man. Duck tour starts. We gotta get in the shower and we gotta go. And I remember I was so tired. I was just like, Coop, all right, man, let's go, but please get in the shower first so I can sleep like an extra 10, 15 minutes. And then he said the one thing that I did not want to hear was, Benny, I already took a shower. And I was just like, no, I gotta get up now. And I'll never forget, that was, I don't know, for me that was just hilarious. Of course, when we went to Boston, we went to Fenway. And before we went to Fenway, we played softball, and I remember a fan asked me for my hat. So I gave him my hat, and that meant I had no hat. So when we go to Fenway, I have no baseball hat, and I'm just like, man, where am I going to find a Dodger hat? You know, in Beantown. So we go to the team store in Boston, and, you know, Coop tells me, why don't you just ask them, see if they have one? I was like, yeah, you might as well. And luckily enough, they did have this Dodger hat they sent by accident, and I actually paid $50 for this bad boy, but, you know, I'll never forget it because it's very symbolic for me of that amazing Boston trip Bobby, Coop, and I had. One day I do want to put together a montage of footage of Coop because I have a lot of stuff, you know, that I recorded with him and I and my wife and son, but I'm just not ready to go look through all that yet. You know, right now, with the exception of this video, you know, I'm trying to keep it as together as I can. But I know looking back at that old footage is just going to make me, you know, remember all the good times I had with him, and, you know, I just don't want to start doing what I'm doing right now. So one day I will do a video like that, but right now I just wanted to make this to just, I don't know, I guess more just to help myself, because you know, his death did come as a shock to me, my wife. I can't even tell Lumpy, man. Lumpy has no idea, but I can't even tell him because I don't want him to ask me where's Coop, you know, that I don't know what I'm going to say at that point. So, these are a couple clips I have from my phone that I wanted to share with you guys, and I think Spidey's also going to put them in his video, so you might have already seen them, but, you know, these are a few moments that I had on my phone that I wanted to share, so, you know, take a look at them. You ready? Guess who's coming?
Who's coming?
Cooper and Superman. See him? Bradley Cooper! What's up, buddy? Train. We went on a train, huh? Wasn't you? That was awesome, man. We came in the car.
You're here in the suite, Dodger suite. Cheers.
Mike's not working. We have a very long trip ahead. Keep drug his legs inside the vehicle. If anything falls out, Coyote's gonna get it. In case of an emergency, do that.
All right, let's do it. Arizona.
Your seat cushions can be.
We're going to Arizona. Still waiting on Graybeard though. He's running to his truck. His car. I'll be right back.
Arizona, Dodger baseball.
Arizona's my home.
He's like, where are we?
Michael Myers! Get me to Michael Myers! Let's see. Hobby! Right there! Right here, Hobby! What's that, Hobby? Bobby! Big Bobby! What's happening, Bobby? Batman! Sit out! Hello, Batman.
Obviously, my two favorite clips are the ones with Lumpy. The first one was at the Natural History Museum. We went there. My wife and I and Lumpy drove, and Coop and Soup told me they were going to take the train. Ended up coming in their car, and I remember right when Lumpy saw Coop, man, he's just like, bam, made a beeline right for him, you know. And he loves Coop and Soup just as much, you know, but Coop's just a big presence, so, you know, he goes to him first, and man, we had a great day that day, and when Lumpy's older, and he'll probably, you know, by the time he gets older, he won't remember any of this, but, you know, he'll know that he was there with Coop and I, and Soup, and Bobby, and all these memories that we have, you know. The other one, of course, is when Lumpy was small, he'd watch Dodger films and, you know, go through picking of the lineup, you know, and I guess that's who he wanted on his team, you know, but he had the BB-8, and when he used that as Bradley, when he called that as Bradley Cooper, my wife happened to be filming that with her phone, and man, that was just the most hilarious thing I had ever seen, you know. So those are my two favorite videos. I got a ton of memories of Coop, man. We're adults, you know, we're over 18, so a lot of the memories I have, you know, involved a lot of like jokes, you know, where we were cussing and, you know, just being guys. The New York trip was amazing. At that time, you know, Coop couldn't move around too much, so, you know, when I was there with him at night, you know, a lot of times we would just sit there, drink, and watch the Dodger games, and, you know, Soup and Bobby were there too, and those are some of the good memories that I have, the conversations we had, you know, the jokes we made of each other. All that stuff I'm going to carry with me the rest of my life, because I'll never forget you, Coop. One thing else I want to say, you know, I was fortunate enough to be able to make it to Coop's house the day that he passed, and I got to see him, you know, before they took him off, and he was already gone at that point, but I got to hug and kiss him and tell him goodbye, tell him how much I loved him. I like to think he already knew that, you know, but in reality I feel bad because we didn't get to hang out as much as I wanted to, you know. I mean, I got a wife and kids, so it's kind of hard to go out and hang out with your friends, you know, when it's a lame excuse, but I mean, that's the reality of it, you know. I got to be here keeping an eye on my family, you know, so we didn't get to hang out that much, so, you know, I was glad that I got to go to his house and see him before they took him off. And I also got to, I got to help lift him into the truck because, he was a big guy. So it took a lot of us to get him into that truck. And it's something I'll always take with me, and, something else I'll never forget. Guys, I really don't know what else to say, man. We loved him very much. We'll never forget him. He's definitely in a better place now. Leave a comment if you guys want. You want to talk about him, you want to ask me anything, go ahead. Obviously, don't ask me anything super personal. I'm not going to get super personal in the comments, but, you guys want to, leave a comment saying how much you loved Coop, how awesome he was. Go ahead, I'll read them all. I'll try to comment on as many as I can, but I love you, Coop. And I know one day we're going to see each other again. And I can't wait. I can't wait to give you a big hug, man. You'll always be in my family's hearts and minds, Coop. And I'm sure that goes for Bobby and everyone else that played softball with him and loved him. Goodbye.